All right, and welcome to the latest episode of The Altar, where we got Yimra, we got Ben, we got me. I did a quick wardrobe change just before we started. Get my Liberty or Death shirt because I'm based. Uh, yeah, banned to the Shadow Realm. So what we talk about today? I had a couple different things because I was like I usually brainstorm the day of the podcast of what to talk about because dude, like, throughout the week there's so much shit. It's like a stockpile of stuff, right? But this time, I was like, we could talk about me getting shadow banned on Tumblr. Last Wednesday, I don't know. When I left work, I was not shadow banned, and then when I got home, I was shadow banned. I couldn't send messages. I couldn't tag people. All my replies were nuked. So I was very sad about that. I don't know what did it. I do not know what did it. I think I think it was me saying, but I did quotes. I did quotes. I said that the COVID season 2 is okay. It's not as good as season 1. But I'm like, I don't even know why they renewed it for a third season when they're out of ideas. That was like I posted that right before I left work, and then yeah, I fucking opened up my app. I was like, huh, that's weird. My messaging tab is gone. Like, what does that mean? And I look it up, like, yeah, you're shadow banned. So what I've done, people, is I've sent a support ticket. Like, yeah, guys,
Mm.
I think you shadow banned me, and I don't know if it was in error or if I actually did something. So if you could please look into this for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I wanted to say the N word, but I didn't because I'm a bigger person right now. But I'm only one beer in, so it's okay. We'll see.
For
I'll
now.
I'll set another support ticket later. So we got a couple people in the chat. We got Yimmer's in the chat. That's good for him. Band of the Shadow Realm. We got yeah, a couple good no Shay. We got Aiden and we got Fonzie. Fonzie's up in there. Everyone's favorite vegan. That's good. So yeah, so what we're gonna talk about tonight. I want to do a kind of a continuation, and this is where we could get Ben like back involved with this. Is we on the I don't know why I thought about it. I think it was because today I was like talking with like Republicans. I'm like, you know what, this is going pretty good. It's going pretty conversation. And I remembered our one of our more popular episodes, ANCAPs versus ANCOMs, but more specifically, like not the whole like don't bother talking with anarchists, more specific like talk to the statist right now and try to convince them to come to your side shit. Because since that episode, I've been continuously talking uh to basically whoever I can on Facebook. That's why I get in Facebook fights. But I try to like keep it level headed when I'm talking to these people to like see if I can change their mind. Yeah, Republicans are the only ones that you want to mess with because well my experience is like so the idea is you want to convince them using their own arguments, right? So with like Republicans, like what one buddy I went to high school with, he's like boomer posts all the time. I think I brought him up on the show before. Like a boomer posting 30-year-old. I don't get it, but no, he'll post shit. Like I actually like because he's a big bootlicker, everything. So in the course of the like past couple months, like I've constantly been commenting on his stuff, and I've actually got him to side that yeah, cops aren't all that great. He still likes cops, but like he doesn't blow them as much because basically what I've been doing it, I'm like, well, like the trigger for him was he posted something like it was like an attack on the left. And I was like, yeah, I'm like that's why I don't like cops. That's one of the reasons I don't like cops because like this stuff like lockdown stuff wouldn't happen. Or like actually I didn't phrase it like that at first. I was just like I don't, that's one of the reasons I don't like cops because this bullshit. He's like, well, you know, it's a tough job, whatever. I'm like, I didn't even bring any of that up. Like the stuff they might run into wasn't even my argument. I'm like, because right now the whole reason the lockdowns were possible was because of police officers because they're enforcers of the state. I'm like, you can make the argument, well, like it's the politicians' fault. It's like the politicians have no power if it's not for the cops enforcing that. And he's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Try that same kind of shit with a Democrat. I have tried, kind of. Doesn't fucking work. So I was curious. Have any of you guys had some insightful conversations with the statists recently, or in the past month or so. Or that wedding you went to, Ben, last year that you just posted pictures of, which is very weird.
Oh, so I went to a third wedding last weekend. So yesterday. No, wait, Saturday.
I thought you said third wedding of 2020. That was like,
Of 2020.
that was the
Oh,
joke
yeah.
I made
So
on Facebook, dumbass.
that was my bad. That was 2 shots in. I didn't even realize it said 2020.
Good for you.
But so that one was a good one. That was like here in Utah in like some nice little like cozy suburb, and it was very outdoorsy. So wasn't very many issues in the way of politics. When I went to my cousin's wedding in California, that was a whole other story. I was basically just like on the low, just I'm not I'm not gonna tell you what I think. No. Just gonna drink my beer, eat my vegan nachos. I'm good.
Vegan nachos.
No. Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, you're very
I feel like the vegan nachos probably weren't too bad. Were they actually?
No, they were decent. Like there's a lot of like decent places around there that do vegan food.
I was gonna say they kind of perfected like vegan or vegetarian food over there.
Yeah.
Kind of like
plus, I mean, it's Santa Barbara. Like it's full of vegans. It's basically the second vegan mecca in the U.S.
I couldn't be a vegan because I like pussy too much and ass. That's just me though.
Like that's just me. It's a little different.
Like a pescatarian or whatever, but like the only exception would be just pussy and ass. Mainly for men. But that's beside the point.
Wait, but the pescatarians are like it's like cruelty-free chicken, right? You know,
oh yeah, no,
no pussy you getting is anything equivalent to pescatarian. You get that shit. No Wait, is that pescatarian? No, maybe it is. I don't fucking know. That's what chicken.
I think Fonzie could probably tell us what. I thought pescatarian was like you eat
fish.
seafood.
Is it fish? Okay,
it's
what the
fish,
hell?
Yeah.
What's the? There's some like equivalent for chicken.
Cruelty free. Like
yeah, like you only eat chicken that wasn't like raised raised in like a shitty environment or something. I don't know.
A free range
pescatarian is fish. Yes, thank you, gentlemen. Fonzie and Noche corrected me because you know what? As I said that, as soon as I said it, I remembered that fucking movie, Luca, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they said pescatarian. And I'm like, and that was absolutely fish. So I'm like, I just fucked up. So I'm not always right on the podcast, but I can easily admit when I'm wrong, and that's why I'm always right. So very simple. But yeah. So I'm thinking about like all these times recent, like this is like the prime time. So like obviously everyone who's listening to this should know that like the COVID shit is the prime time to try to bring some more radicalize more people. Like it's hard for me to radicalize people on Tumblr right now because I'm Shadowbanned. I can't add anybody. I can't tag anyone. No one can tag me. It's very inconvenient. I didn't realize how much I actually use that shit until I got Shadowbanned. Like the messaging stuff was like hit or miss. Like I didn't really message anybody. But man, not being able to fucking respond to shit is such a pain in the ass. It's ridiculous. So
I remember for a long ass time I was Shadowbanned and like I didn't know it at first. This was like years of just like not showing up in search results. I'm just like, maybe my blog's broken. I don't get it. And I think AIB was finally like, actually, bro, it sounds like you're Shadowbanned.
How'd you undo that?
So I emailed staff about it, and they were like, yeah, here you go. Your blog is restored, or it's fixed, whatever the issue is. Don't worry about it. And I was back in search results and shit. It took like a couple of days. Yeah. But like I'm of the impression that like there was like a changing of guard in staff, and like I got Shadowbanned by old staff, and then the new staff came on, and they were like, who the fuck's this guy? Why is he Shadowbanned? I don't know.
Huh.
I feel like of all jobs, I feel like working for Tumblr is probably the easiest because I can't imagine. Like, I would just love to just go in the city, just go in the office, wear a tie as a belt, and just type bullshit out and get paid like at least $20 an hour, if not more.
You think you're getting paid $20 an hour? They are not getting paid
$20 a week.
It's maybe, but then it's just like on your resume. It's just like, where'd you work at? Tumblr. I would love to work there just so I could have like just complete safety of my account.
How to not get pussy? Say you work at Tumblr.
Well, I don't really believe in sex anyways. I mean,
true.
Having sex is kind of like. Why I put a bunch of absinthe in this Diet Coke, so.
I was wondering what you were pouring into that.
Poison, basically fucking poison. This shit's ridiculous. It's from Germany.
Hell yeah.
It's 89.9% alcohol. It's literally just dyed green, Everclear with a hint of like black licorice. It's disgusting.
That's
It is literally.
radioactive.
I actually probably could light. I know I definitely could light this on fire. I'm not going to for my health though, because then I will run out of a shit that I ordered.
Oh, well, I'm gonna break the phone. Hello. So,
Hey.
yeah, so like this is the prime time, you know, to literally like, because I was in line with something. I think of Anarchy in Black and some other people said like this. My memory's coming back from a couple years ago. There was like, there's no need to be nice to these people. Call them fucking retarded, and then decimate them. Like it doesn't matter if you're nice or not. I'm like, yeah, but that's like to like the leftists, right? Or like Democrats, or like because leftists aren't necessarily liberals or whatever. There's a difference. I'm not gonna explain the difference because I don't care. But
it's like how people on the right aren't necessarily conservative. It's the same shtick.
Yeah, like there's different flavors of it, right? But like basically, I still with A and B on the like, if anyone on the left, in my experience, you might as well just call them retarded and that their shit's not going to work for whatever reason. So they're like, oh, that's ad hominem, bro. Like, no, ad hominems, if I just attack you, I'm attacking you and the argument. You fucking idiot. Go use a dictionary. Basically, like, then push them off the side. Because I'm telling you, like,
read a fucking book.
Because most of these Republicans I fucking talk to, it's like, if you frame it in with their arguments, it's super fucking easy to at least push the needle in our direction, right? It's fucking amazing. Like because when you say like Constitution's fucking trash, they'll get mad, right? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, dude, the fucking Second Amendment, right? No infringements. I can't go to the fucking store and buy a fucking select fire. You're telling me the Constitution's good and I can't do that, right? And like, oh yeah, man, because they're always thinking about it like, oh yeah, these liberals hate the Constitution because it protects our gun rights. I'm like, it fucking doesn't, man. Like fucking, it doesn't. I don't know why you're even using that shit.
It'd be a lot easier to get a pistol permit. Actually, you wouldn't even need you just get a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can still do that, but usually it's a burner and has duct tape on the rip, and
it's only because you live in New York, Kimra.
Yeah, but still, my point stands.
Mm-hmm.
Cuck.
Yeah. So, you got something?
No, I got nothing other than handguns.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. So it's like that. I'm trying to remember other what other shit I got going on here. Is what are the arguments I was using for them, because they always expect you when you dunk on them originally to use some left-wing talking point, and then when you come in like, no, like this is what I mean, like by it, like, and it's very easy to understand, like you're not like a dickhead about it. And they're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that makes some sense. So like they'll kind of concede. They're still like, I mean, they're not gonna like hop straight into anarchy, because we've talked about it before. No one just goes straight into anarchy.
Except for like schizophrenics and bipolar people.
Yeah, maybe. Are you admitting something to us?
Not yet. My favorite thing was when I went to the Pride Parade a few months back, and when I was zooted on a bunch of shit, and I'd be talking to people, and then once I had this on though, because I looked like a fucking fed as far as they were concerned, because I just kept standing in one place, like wired as shit, just looking around. Once I put that on, people actually started approaching me and complimenting me, borderline sexually harassing me. But it's a Pride Parade, so it's different. Some people talk to me about certain things. Then we go into politics, and then eventually I started talking about the pink pistols and stuff like that, where it's like, well, gays don't get badged if they're armed, and they're like, well, like guns are like blah blah blah. It's like, okay, but like, who's gonna always have firearms? Police and military. So you want to have your protection, and then you just kind of go into that talking point, and then just kind of relate to them, find some type of commonality, and then kind of move into that with your own ideals. And if they don't agree with you, fine. Then you tried your best. Call it a day. Call them a fucking douche and leave it at that. But like most of the people I talked to, they were like, once I explained, like, hey, for instance, there's a community of firearm owners that are LGBT plus, blah blah, and it's yet again, you don't trust the police, but you want to ban guns. Well, who's going to have them anyways, regardless? I mean, or you can have the UK situation where the cops that don't have guns are fucking pussies, and the ones who do will just beat the ever living piss out of you because they're SAS trained, which isn't much better because now you have basically SWAT teams with military training, like legit military training, like those London SAS guys, which is just arguably almost worse because now they actually know what they're doing, which is not great.
Yeah. Do you know?
So it's almost like you got to find just some type of.
Do you know how many SWAT raids there are a year?
Too many.
6,900.
Ooh, close, like 60,000.
Ooh, I was not close. That was
if you added another zero to that, you would have been like right there, okay.
69,000. Nice.
60,
not nice.
So does the SWAT raid constitute like the guys in the full body armor? Not just like any type of.
I believe so.
Full party van. Full party.
No,
van.
I was just
the paddy wagon.
I was just listening to Free Man Beyond the Wall and like, well, this is like spin-off podcast with the Scott Horton where they're talking about Waco, and like we have Wacos every day, just like smaller scale, like SWAT raids, right? And like it was like 50, an average of 50,000 a year for a certain amount of time.
Oy vey, 6 million Wacos every year. Oy vey.
Oy vey. And then
the 6 million Wacos.
Oy. So and Fonzie put up in the chat that conservatives are easier to convince because they come from an individual rights standpoint. Yes, but you need to know how to phrase it to them, because to be fair, I've ran into a lot of stupid motherfucking conservatives that like, oh yeah, individual rights, man, but then like there was some fucking person on Twitter the other day talking about how red flag laws were good because it's like, well, that's only like to stop a crazy person from having a gun. It's like, when you're against that, like, you fucking idiot. You don't understand that'll be extrapolated to you in 5 months. You're gonna be one of the crazy people they claim. There's no due process.
It's like the Alex Jones thing where they banned him off of like YouTube and shit, and then they start taking off left-leaning people and people who talk about it. And like YouTube, you can't put on like a good chunk of content compared to what you did back then. I don't mean like lively shit. I mean like political discussions. I don't even mean like extremist shit, like, hey, go bomb the fucking White House. Allegedly, joking, of course. Kind of type beat shit. But I mean, like, you couldn't post the same kind of stuff you could 5 years ago talking about politics or social issues. I mean, the Arab Spring on Twitter heavily affected how social media is now, where you can have a whole fucking revolution just using social media as a place to communicate and such. I think a lot of these people kind of realize that now. It's going to make it harder to do any of that kind of shit and actually have these kind of conversations more commonly, or at least have those ideas in a proper form. Unless you're small like us and we kind of get away with a lot more shit until, I mean, not that we'll ever have like, over 100,000 views, which would be nice. I would like to, have money.
There's no reason we can't. Followers, do your job.
You know what?
Please.
If we ever got that big, I would just become legitimately racist, so I could tank the show.
So we could ban within 13 seconds.
Yeah, ban within 13 seconds, like take it down. I'm surprised because YouTube did the whole like they're gonna take down like any vaccine disinformation. They're gonna wipe, right? And I'm like,
we're too small time.
Yeah, we're too.
Yeah, that's what.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
it doesn't matter. It's the algorithm. They'll fucking take if it catches something like, and I'm like, if I had that one vaccine episode named what I was originally gonna do, because usually I just come up with it on the spot. Like, I'm like, yeah, this says like quirky, like, oh my god, like it's so cool.
Oh my god.
So, but I changed it because I'm like, dude, I'm like, this is literally all the trigger words for the algorithm. If I name this episode this, it'll get taken off. So I named it with something else. We're good. Whatever on there. I like Gary in the chat. My man Gary. Gary, you need to come back on the show and let's get messed up before noon again. You know what I mean?
Word.
So he's been saying to Republicans that cops are the foot soldiers of Democrats that stir the shit. He's like, makes their heads explode. It absolutely does. Absolutely fucking does. So yeah. I mean, what other arguments do you think could work? I'm trying to think of arguments because like my bringing up my dad again because I have father issues. Because he was a
Damn.
Republican.
So do you need like a daddy who's also way younger than you?
Yeah, maybe. Let me have one more beer. We'll talk about it. We're gonna talk about.
Damn. Open the next one up.
Yo, open. I'm gonna open something up.